Good morning everyone. Last time we have started new chapter 8 circulatory system, and we have seen many things as an introductory topics like what are the fluid present in our body, what are the properties of blood. Today we are going for the functions of blood. So there are two main functions of blood, transportation and protection. In transportation, many sub points were there. So what they are transporting in our body with the blood, which things were getting transported from the one place to another place. As you know, after digestion, the complex molecule will be converted into the simpler one, and these molecules were from alimentary canal, they will go for the blood, and afterward whichever tissue wants it will be go for that site. Which are the example of it? Glucose, amino acid, vitamins, minerals, many. Next is for the transportation of oxygen. At the respiratory surface this will occur. Now what is respiratory surface and tissue surface? See here, you have already learned this thing in your 9th standard. When we are taking air inside our body with the help of nostrils and nose, this will go inside the lungs, and in lungs we have alveoli. Okay, now this alveoli is surrounded with the capillaries. Okay, and this capillary have RBC. So this surface, particular this box, this surface which have here the alveolar surface, and here it's a blood capillary. So this surface is called as respiratory surface. So here what will happen? A blood cell will take the oxygen. So here what will be formed? Blood cells have hemoglobin which combines with the oxygen, and they are forming HbO2, which is called as oxyhemoglobin. Okay. So next is transportation of carbon dioxide. Now this is our respiratory surface. But if any organ were present here and the capillaries are surrounding to this organ, so this is called as tissue surface. Here what will be going inside the capillary? CO2, which is generated because of the biochemical cycles in the cells of this tissue. Then this CO2 will be going inside the capillaries. Here the hemoglobin will combine with the CO2 and it will gives you HbCO2. It is called as carbaminohemoglobin. So that is our third function, HbCO2 formation. Next, many excretory material they are transporting from the liver, kidney and skin. Next, they also help in the distributions of hormones obviously that will be produced from the endocrine gland, and it will be distributed to the particular target site with the help of blood. And the last one for the transportation, that is heat. So they also help in distribution of heat, like blood helps in keeping the temperature of our body uniform by distributing the heat evenly in our body. Next function is protection. So three main things were there, how the blood can protect our body. So when any injury can happen, then what will happen? The blood will be clot at that particular site. So this clotting can help three ways. First one, they can stop the excessive blood loss. Next, they can stop the entry of bacteria by engulfing it. And third is the function of blood for the protection. Third, they can produce antitoxins and antibodies which can neutralize the pathogens or the pathogenic substance. They can also kill them. So like that way they can help in a protection. Okay, so 3 protection functions were there. By forming the clot, they can stop the severe blood loss and stop the entry of causative agent. Second, they can engulf the bacteria, and third, they can produce the antitoxins and antibodies in our body. Now next point we will go for composition of blood. 2 main type is present in the blood. The liquid portion, which is called as plasma, and many kind of cells are present, which is called as cellular elements. This plasma is 50 to 60% of this blood, and cellular components are 40 to 45%. Now plasma contain water, protein, inorganic salt and other things. So water is the most and majority percentage in our blood in plasma, that is 90 to 92%. Next is protein. Many kind of protein present in our body, that is 7 to 8%. Inorganic salts, examples are, this may be asked in exam, which kind of inorganic salts are present in the plasma? Sodium chloride and sodium bicarbonate, only 1%. And last one, other substance. Which are the other substances are present in the plasma? Glucose, then amino acids, then fibrinogen, hormone, urea. These many substances are present as an other substance in the plasma, but the content are very less. Now, if from the plasma we are just removing the protein fibrinogen, then this is called as serum culture. Got it? What is serum? Now the cellular elements. These words you know. 3 kind of cells are present: RBC, WBC and platelets. They are also called as erythrocyte, leukocyte and thrombocyte. Now we will see this cells in detail. First, RBC. As you know, it is also called as red blood corpuscles or the hematid or the erythroid or the erythrocytes. Why it was named like that? Because they have hemoglobin and they are red in color. They are non-nucleated. They don't have any nucleus. They lack many cytoplasmic organelles like nucleolus, mitochondria and ribosomes. Okay. Afterward we will study in detail why they don't have, and endoplasmic reticulum also. This thing they don't have. They lack of it. Now, what is the shape and structure of this RBC? RBC, they are very minute in shape. They are biconcave in structure. As you can see here, they are biconcave disc-like structure. Biconcave means what? At the center portion they were flat, and at the peripheral region they are somewhat rounded structure. So that's why it is called as biconcave disc-like structure. They are very small because the diameter is only of 7 micrometer and the thickness is only of 2 micrometer. The small size plus this concavity that provide the large surface area, which makes them very efficient in absorbing oxygen. And the betterment, for their betterment, the small cells help them because this RBC can travel through very fine capillary in the body. Adult male has 5 million RBC per cubic centimeter, and Adult female have slightly less than male, that is 4.5 million. So this is all about RBC shape, size and structure. Now it's a very famous word. If you know RBC, you should know what is hemoglobin. So hemoglobin, it is an chemical constitutions of the RBC. Red blood cells have a colorless spongy body which is called as stroma, and in that stroma they contain the pigment which is called as hemoglobin. Now hemoglobin is composed of two main parts, globin and heme. Globin means the protein chains. Here you can see 4 chains were there, 2 alpha and 2 beta chains. So that is a globin portion, a protein portion. And in this figure you can see this is yellow color which is called as an heme. Okay. This heme part contain iron. This is the elaborated figure of heme, a chemical structure of this heme. So at the center of the heme, you can see here in this figure also, at the center of heme what is present? Iron is present. Now it has ability to combine readily with the oxygen to form oxyhemoglobin. This we have already studied what is oxyhemoglobin, but where it is combined, this oxygen combined with this heme portion or the iron portion, and they are forming oxyhemoglobin. Okay, hemoglobin can carry very small quantity of carbon dioxide also in the form of carbaminohemoglobin. This also we have studied in the function. Now the interesting fact, hemoglobin have very strong affinity for the carbon monoxide. Normally they are combined with the oxygen and carbon dioxide, that we have seen, but they have high affinity to bind with the carbon monoxide, and they are making a stable compound. Here they are making unstable compound, carbaminohemoglobin and all that. But if they are bind with the carbon monoxide, they are making stable compound which is called as carboxyhemoglobin. It means HbCO. When they were bind with the carbon monoxide, they are forming carboxyhemoglobin. What happened to this? If our RBC binds to carbon monoxide, then now the cut down capacity of the transportation of oxygen. Less oxygen can bind to this RBC because the place was occupied with the carbon monoxide. So this is called as carbon dioxide poisoning. Line it out this word in your book on the page number 93, carbon monoxide poisoning. How it can be occur, this condition? If a person is sleeping near the burning furnaces in the small room without any ventilation, this can result in the carbon monoxide poisoning. And if it is for the longer period of time, the person can be dead. So this is about the hemoglobin. Now we will see life and death of the RBC. These things you know in your lower standard. From where it is formed, RBC formed from the bone marrow of the long bones. An embryo, in embryonic condition, they were produced from the liver and spleen. In children, the RBC are produced in the bone marrow of all bones up to the 5 years of age. But in adult, it is always produced from the long bones. But in children, it is produced from all bones. Okay. In mature RBC, they don't have any nuclei. But when they were produced, they have nuclei. But when they were mature, they lost the nuclei and they become enucleated, means without nucleus. average lifespan of the RBC in 120 days. So after 120 days, they become old and weak and they were destroyed in the spleen, liver and the bone marrow. The iron part remain in the liver. As you know, it have two portion, globin and heme. So iron part will go for the liver and the other part will be excreted as an bilirubin in the bile pigment. A normal adult have approximately 2 million RBC which are destroyed every second. In other words, you can say that 1% of total erythrocytes in the body are destroyed every day. If you can take a ratio. Deficient but more efficient. Now the reason come. Why, if RBC didn't have nucleus, mitochondria and endoplasmic reticulum, for what reason it is not present and why it is beneficial to them? They don't have nucleus, because of that the cell shape can be biconcave, which increase the surface area and the volume ratio for the absorption of the oxygen. In very less space, they can be accommodated. Why they don't have mitochondria? If they have mitochondria, it means they can use their own oxygen for the ATP production. So thus, all the oxygen which is absorbed from the lung, which is transported and delivered to tissue, will be unconsumed, because here our RBC is not using this oxygen. It is going to deliver to the different organ. So that is good for our body. Secondly, loss of mitochondria, it means full transportation of glucose in blood plasma, because if a glucose will combine with the oxygen, they will go for many cycles. Okay, and then they can produce ATP. So if there will be no mitochondria, then whatever glucose they have absorbed from the alimentary canal will be untouched. So it will be directly goes to the different tissue. If there will be no endoplasmic reticulum, means they can increase the flexibility of the RBC for the movement through the narrow capillaries. Okay, so that's why it was said that RBC are deficient of many organelles, but still they are more efficient than any other cell in our body. Next is WBC, white blood cells. They are also called as leukocytes. So WBC are produced in the red bone marrow, lymph nodes and sometimes also from the liver and the spleen. The word leukocyte means what? Leuko means white and cytes means cell. So that's why it was called as leukocytes. The main function, they are very crucial for the defense. They lack of hemoglobin, that's why they were colorless. They are able to move into the blood vessels, and this capacity will called as diapedesis. Line it out, this word. It was asked many times in our board exam. What is diapedesis? Most of the WBC, they can embedded amoeboid in the structure and they can produce pseudopodia. So because of that, they can squeeze through the wall of capillary. If this is a capillary, they can squeeze through it, move through it. Okay, and they are coming out. So this is called as diapedesis. Based on their shape, structure and characteristic, they are classified into two major groups, granulocyte and agranulocyte. Now this table is very important for section A. Many times they were asking very short questions, differentiate between and many things from this table. So learn it very well. Based on their characteristic shape, they were two different group, granulocyte and agranulocyte. Granulocyte means cytoplasm which contains small granules, and Here the cytoplasm didn't have any granule. Here the nucleus is usually constricted into the lobes. For example, this is nucleus, but because the constriction happened, they are forming the lobes like structure. Granulocyte have three kind of cells: neutrophil, eosinophil, basophil. This is called as neutrophil because they were not stained by any dye. This is called as eosinophil because they are stained by acidic dye, and these are the stained by basic dye. That's why they were named like it. See the percentage. Maximum number of granulocytes are 62% neutrophil, eosinophil 2 to 3%, and basophil 0 to 4% only. Which are the function and appearance. See here, the nucleus is 3 to 4 lobes. Here only 2 lobes. And here the nucleus is larger than the cell. If this is a cell, then nucleus will be larger and they are covering the main part of the cell. Okay. Dyes I have already told you. Here it was stained by eosin dye, and here the basic dye, that is methylene blue. So you can differentiate them very well on the base of structure. Now differentiate on the base of functions. Here they can engulf the bacteria, so it is called as phagocytosis. Here they can engulf the bacteria, but the main thing, they are associated with the allergy and they can produce antitoxins. Basophil, they can release the chemical structure which is called as histamine for the inflammation, okay, and which can dilate the blood vessels. Site of production are same for all, that is bone marrow. Next is non-granular or the agranulocytes. Only two type of agranulocytes, lymphocytes and monocytes. Lymphocytes are 30% and monocytes are less to it, 5 to 3%. Structure. Now listen this word carefully. They are the smallest WBC. They have single, but you can see here, observe here, large nucleus. Here also nucleus is large, but that is compared to the granulocyte. Next, monocyte, they are the largest WBC. Nucleus is large, but it is kidney shape. And they were present at the site of infection or the transform into the macrophages. When we need, they can convert it into a macrophage. Functions. The main function of lymphocytes are production of antibody. This word you know in your lower standard. And if they are monocytes are becoming macrophages, obviously they can help in the ingestion of germs. Now see here, site of productions are different. Here bone marrow, leaf and glands, but here only bone marrow. So these are the different types of the WBC. Now we will see what are the functions of WBC. This we have already discussed in the table number 8.1. Still in detail, the leukocytes of the WBC can go for the phagocytosis. Mostly neutrophil. They engulf the particle of the solid substance of the pathogen like bacteria. See here, when they find any kind of infection, so this neutrophil can go out from the blood vessels called as diapedesis, and then they will go for the particular site of the tissue and they can engulf this bacteria, which is called as phagocytosis. Next is called as inflammation. Now what is inflammation? When inflammation occurs in our body, this you have already seen in your lifetime. So any kind of injury occurred to the tissue, or if any germs come inside our body, that part can be inflamed. Goes for the inflammation. So here what will be happen in inflammation? If any cut were there, or if any pathogens are coming inside, then a WBC can move out from the blood vessels, okay, through the diapedesis, and they are fighting against this disease causing germs or the cuts. So they are destroying these damaged cells. by the phagocytosis, and the pus will be formed. Now this pus composed of dead WBC with the destroyed tissue cells or the destroyed pathogen. Many times you have seen the pus filled inside the inflammation. Next is formation of antibodies. Antibody structure, you know about it. So lymphocytes will always go for the production of antibody which can neutralize germs. How? Because any germs have their own antigen. So our antibody can bind with it and forms antigen antibody complex, and this complex can be phagocyte with any kind of WBC and they were neutralized. This thing help in the formation of vaccines. How? The weakened germs with their antigen are introduced inside our body in the form of vaccine. So if the weakened germs going inside a body, they will not cause any disease, but yes, they still possess their antigen. So this antigen can trigger the antibody production in our body. So they are giving immunity before the disease formation. So these are the three functions of WBC. Now the last topic for today and the last point, a kind of cell in blood, they are called as platelets, or it is also called as thrombocytes. So how it look like? What is the shape of thrombocytes? They are very minute, oval or round in structure. They are about 2 lakhs to 4 lakhs per cubic meter of the blood. And they are derived from some of the giant cell which are called as megakaryocytosis sites. What is this megakaryocytes? As you know, from the bone marrow, stem cells are formed. These stem cells will produce some kind of big cells which is called as megakaryoblast, and now at the maturity they are called as megakaryocytes. So these are known as platelet precursor cells, and they are forming or they are producing platelets in our body. Okay. Now average lifespan of these platelets are only 3 to 5 days, and they are destroyed mainly in the spleen. As you know, spleen is considered as a graveyard of our cellular content of blood. They are very important. Now this is the function of the platelets. They are very important for the clotting of blood. So at the site of injury, the platelets will disintegrate and release the chemical substance which is called as thrombokinase, which initiate the clotting of blood. This thing we will learn in next lecture. It's very important topic and question for the board exam: clotting of blood or the blood coagulation.